Alright, the first lesson on Windows 7. Now, just to clarify, I hear people talking about Windows 7 a lot, and I'm not big on jargon or terminology. However, you should have some kind of knowledge as to what you're talking about. I'm thinking Windows is an operating system, also known as system software. Uh, it's the software that manages the hardware and the software of your computer. Think of it as the middleman between you and your computer. Um, the system software pretty much runs your computer, regardless of the other software that you may have on there. Like most of us are running Windows type of software, and then we decide what kind of application software we want to work with after that. So just because you have the same Windows software as someone else, that doesn't mean you're going to have the same application software or programs, as we like to call them. So understand the difference between Windows and everything else. Windows is what runs your computer. Now, when you purchase Windows, it sometimes comes with all kinds of application software depending on the version that you bought. But Windows itself is, think of it as the middleman between you and your computer. We're going to start by accessing the control panel, which is in the familiar spot. We go to the start button here, and from here we can go to control panel, which is neat and tidy. And I guess where I'd like to start is doing some light, easy, fun stuff. And I want you to know where you can go to add or remove your user accounts. One of them, of course, would probably be you. So you would go there and you'd set. Now I've already set mine with a password, and now you can start setting other people. So you can go to create new account. Now when you're in your account, or when you're setting up an account, you can of course change the account name. You can change the password. You can remove the password altogether so that you can just get right into the machine. You can change the picture in the background to one of Microsoft's many pictures, or you can use your own. I'm also assuming in this video that I'm just going backwards here back to the control panel. I'm assuming that when you've had Windows 7 installed, you may have purchased a brand new machine that had Windows 7. You may have installed it over top of the last version being Vista, or even the one prior to that being XP. If you haven't yet installed it on an existing machine, my recommendation is wherever you buy it from, have them back up everything on your machine and then have them install it professionally. I teach this stuff for a living, and I teach the application, the end users, how to use their computer. But I really didn't want to mess with having it installed, because that just isn't what I'm good at. So I paid people to have it installed, and I then had all of my old files loaded back onto the machine. So now they're all there, and that allows me now to go into things like appearance and personalization, and find the pictures and the graphics and all the things that I'm used to having, and load them onto this machine. So we're going to go there next. We're going to go to the place where we go to personalize. So I'm going to go to change the theme right here. When I loaded or had this installed, it came with a very basic theme, which is this one here. And a lot of the great stuff that I read about wasn't really happening for me, and I wasn't sure why. When I started investigating, I realized that the theme here that's loaded is a basic and high contrast theme. Can't have as much fun with these as you do with the arrow themes. So you're going to want to right away change to one of these. Now, my recommendation is maybe you go with just the Windows 7 theme. And now, just having done that, I now have these features that we'll talk about shortly that weren't working without an arrow theme. So if you're not able to access the arrow themes, chances are your machine is lacking in one capacity or another, either with sounds or with the display capabilities. But just understand that if you don't have all of the bells and whistles that we're going to talk about, chances are it's because you're working with a basic theme. Now, once you've chosen a theme, you can now edit that theme. So I've got all the great stuff that Arrow is going to give me, and now I want to personalize it a little bit. So I'm going to want to change the background. So in other words, the desktop, which is what you see when you turn on your machine. You can choose one of their preset pictures, right? There's lots of real fancy looking ones. However, I prefer to use pictures that I know of, or pictures that I've taken and I really like. So you're able now to browse through your own pictures. So now I know that I've got pictures in here because I've loaded this computer with all my old files already. And I'm going to go to my pictures here. And I even created a little calendar for my, sorry, a little folder for myself in which I put pictures that would make nice backgrounds. So now I'm going to open that folder. And here are the two pictures here. Now you may have several pictures. And the neat thing is you can choose one picture, or in this version you can select several pictures. So you can have 20 pictures, and so your background, okay, or your desktop, which is this right here, would change. And you can set it to change as often as you want it to change. So I'm going to set mine to a minute. So every minute my desktop is going to change between this picture and that picture. And then I can save the changes to that. And now this theme is now called Unsaved Theme. I'm able to change the color of the sides of my window if I wanted to. I kind of actually like sky because it blends well with what I've got going on, but you'd be able to change it to anything else. And then save that. You can also change the sounds. There's all kinds of sound themes that you can apply. Now, they're all here. I haven't taken the time to check them all out. I've checked some of them out. Some of them got the flutes and the horns and stuff. I kind of like the Windows default because it's subtle, but again, it's a very personal thing that you can change and experiment with and see what they look like. Having said this, just between the desktop background, the color and the sounds, and these preset schemes, you can spend quite a bit of time just setting up your own account to look the way you want it to. And you can also set up different themes so that at any given point you can say, you know, I'm tired of this theme, I want to go with this theme. They can even be seasonal if you want, depending on what you use your computer for and your personality. So you can set a whole bunch of themes and save them. So now here I would probably save this, right? And you can give it any kind of name, and I'll give this a water theme, so I'll say save. So now that's the theme that's applied right now. I'd be able to construct another one and save it as something else very easily. You can also, of course, put your screensaver on. So rather than just work with certain parts, such as the background or the glass color or the sound effects, you can do them all, and I recommend you do them all using theme. It's a lot easier, faster, and you've got access to all of the little things right from there.